Okay, here we go. What's up, Marco? You made it. Yeah, time to make Jolt happen. So, what did I say I was gonna work on? Yes, I can type. What? Oh, of course. Move that out of the way. I think I was gonna do the rigid body API, rework that a bit. Yeah, rework rigid body API. Cool. Do I have the high pass filter on this enabled? Yes, I do. Okay. Let's go ahead and close most of this. I always open a bunch of files and I never close them. So, okay, well, if we take a look at the general kind of rigid body API here. No, that's no longer true. Our constructor, we have a destructor. See, this whole attach and detach shape, I'm not so sure about. Because if we look at Jolt, attach shape does nothing, right? Now, in the future, this will actually handle the event that we have. Like, if we have a mutable compound shape, we can obviously attach a shape to that. But otherwise, we physically can't add a shape to an actor during the runtime, right? Whereas in physics, you can. So, my idea is that we design the rigid body API around the idea that we can only add shapes on startup by default, right? See, the problem where that becomes an issue. Igorsek, what's up, man? Oh yeah, I found a problem for the collision. Like I fixed it. It's done. Like if I run this, you'll see. I guess you weren't here that long during the last stream. But yeah, no, I got that working. I figured out what was wrong. Basically, what was the problem was that I had to multiply the translation of the collider with the scale of the rigid body entity. I'm almost thinking I should move my camera so that it's on my second monitor because I keep looking at that because that's where I have my chat. But that also means I never look at the camera when I'm talking to people. So yeah, if I open up this, you will see we do have proper collision working, and we even added sphere colliders and capsule colliders. So I fixed the compound collider issue, and I added sphere and capsule colliders because they're ridiculously simple to add. Right? But okay. Current idea we designed the system to be targeted towards having effectively immutable shapes and immutable rigid bodies, in the sense that you can't modify the properties of it after the game is already running, right? Because that can allow us to make certain assumptions most of the time that will basically allow us to optimize things in a good way, right? And we can say that, okay, well, if you do want if you want to add shapes kind of during runtime, or if you want to remove them during runtime, you'll have to, I don't know, do something to enable that. Now, in the end, I don't think it's going to be that big of a performance difference. But it does mean that these two methods won't necessarily be the main way that you kind of attach shapes, right? And like that's already the case in Jolt. Because in order to modify the shapes of an actor in Jolt, you have to have like a mutable compound shape, I think. Well, maybe you can modify it. Maybe you can remove shapes. But if you want multiple ones, you have to have a mutable one. Maybe. Right, because obviously in Jolt we do not use attach shape or detach shape, but in physics we do. Right? And we'd even have like this, but for capsule and spheres, right? And also, I kind of don't like having this in the scene, because the scene isn't responsible for attaching shapes to anything. I've implemented IE 7.5 for half to single and double casts. Damn, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, I don't like the idea of this. I want it to simply be this. That is how we create a rigid body by default. Now, I think it's very much possible that we fail. Like, can we fail to create a physics rigid body? I don't think so. But that means that the physics rigid body will be a lot more similar to the Jolt one. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Now, they're already pretty similar. So, hang on, we build this, but... Oh, and then when we do this... Okay. So we actually have to build the filter data before we create the actors in that case. So we go in and we do that here. Because when we actually attach them, that is when we will be kind of dealing with setting that on the native shape. Now, in Jolt, we call create shapes for entity. And obviously physics doesn't have the concept of like a compound shape, because you don't need a special structure to store multiple shapes. You can just attach multiple shapes directly to the actor. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna make this a virtual function in here, or virtual method. It's gonna be private. Well, I think I have to mark it protected. And it will create collider, collision, shapes. For entity. Yeah. See, I don't like that. Well, actually, no. That is the way we want it, because compound shapes have to somehow be handled in physics as well. Right? But in physics, it would be just a normal shape that you attach to this actor. Right? So we would create collision shapes for entity. And it would be that. But it would be a pure virtual one. And we won't actually have those there. Instead, they will be defined up here. So ignore compound shapes, which was the second option, is if and hang on a minute. Yeah. Is equal to entity equals entity. And this will be the opposite. Yes. Implode, what's up? Once cried, just see my current engine's code. Yeah, conspool. Might as well. It will. It's never gonna change. Like, we determine them up here and we're done. So why not? So yeah, that's how we're going to do that. Conspool as param. Is there any point in making this virtual? No, there isn't. Both classes will have it, but that's purely because I might move the enums into a separate one. Two files. Jesus, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm happy with that. This one, the physics, will also have the exact same one. The difference here is this function will actually, do we make it so this actually attaches the shape, or should it just create it? I mean, it does say create, so I suppose we should do that. Unless... let's check physics shapes. Takes in the entity, but it doesn't attach it. It doesn't require an act or anything like that. So yeah, let's make it so this just creates and not attaches. So that's going to be very similar to this. Yeah, if... okay, let's close those. So we grab that, but we don't technically have a compound shape in physics. So I'm not sure what that would strictly do. Because I think we still want one for physics, because it will provide a neat interface. And we can also differentiate immutable from mutable ones. One thing I don't get is why they don't implement const. It can be everywhere in a lot of popular modern languages. Probably because it's not needed everywhere. I suspect. Okay, well, let's start with the basic shapes. Physics. Undefined, yes, they are. Actually, we need specifically the physics shapes. Yep, there we go. Now, the compound shapes in physics, could... A compound shape in physics could simply store the actual shapes. in like an unknown map or something. And then when we go to attach all of the shapes, we just loop through the compound shape through all of these shapes that it's storing and attach those directly. So it's technically not a shape of its own, but it still lets us use the same sort of API. And I don't like the fact that this code is pretty much identical to the one in Jolt. To be honest. Because that is a lot of bad code duplication, which I'm definitely gonna have to fix up. But yeah, so we're gonna have physics immutable compound shape and a physics mutable compound shape. Difference here is where the way we store the actual data. And get native shape isn't gonna be a real thing for this. This is simply going to return null pointer because we don't do this. We'd have an unordered map that maps from a shape type. I mean, pretty much exactly the way we have it in the actor. Right, so we'd have this. Yeah. What's with this trash formatting? So we'd have that. The constructors probably won't do anything. And add shape would simply go m shapes shape get type equals shape. No. Push back shape. That's all they would do. Store them. Now, create is a bit interesting. Because obviously we don't have anything to create. So just have it do nothing. Yeah, I think have it do nothing. Also, I may make it so these maps actually have like some kind of ID that is associated with the given shape at some point. We go through, we do all of this. Okay, first of all, this doesn't actually seem to be used anywhere. And not ignore. But that would mean we should have this, not the other way around. Let's have a look. Ignore compound shapes is the first parameter, and we ignore them if we are the entity. But the thing is that, yeah, that won't quite work here. Because on the first go, this will be true, meaning this will never run. So in that sense, it should be this. So if we're not the entity, so if we are the entity, this will be false, meaning we can do this. Second go around, it will be true, meaning we won't ever reach this code. I think. And this one's not even used. Noticing you're using Chrome. You use Edge? I tried using Edge a while back, but I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. And for some reason, like, when I used Edge, like YouTube would load extremely slowly. But I don't know if that was because I was using Edge or something like that. I will say I do like the fact that Edge has the whole thing where you can like draw on a web page, stuff like that. I don't know, do they have that now? Because they used to have it. Never had slow YouTube video loading. Yeah, I don't know why that was happening, but pretty much all of Google's websites were loading extremely slowly for me, and so I just left. So we ignore compound shapes if this. Yes. That looks correct. And this looks correct as well. So we need to call this where. Well, let's do it beforehand. Like that. Okay. Now, obviously, this still won't work for physics, but let's try check. Let's verify that the compound shape still works with Jolt. Okay. Come on. Get rid of that crap. Hopefully accidentally hit my microphone then. Sorry about that. What? What is this crap? Okay, why is that happening? Because this creates a bad function call. Because this doesn't exist for some reason. And I don't remember why. Find update function. This is so annoying. It's because of this audio engine. Does it happen here? No. So why is it happening in physics test when it didn't used to happen? Could be because of one of the audio events being broken or some crap like that. Oh, that's super annoying. That music looks very, very low in the mixer. Well, it looks a bit better. Yeah, I've been having this issue where the audio's on update function is like the callback is just not set to anything. It's been happening for quite a while, and I don't know why. And what's this crap? Like, I'm sorry, but are we having like memory corruption or something? So this is coming from here. So we get that. from the entity, and that somehow results in a crash. Stack what? Stack Overflow exception. Did I accidentally create an infinite loop somewhere? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Should it be this? Yeah, that would definitely result in Stack Overflow exceptions. When you end up calling the same function like 50,000 times. Yeah, pretty much. Man, can the sun disappear? It's just me being dumb with my logic, causing problems. Well, see, that doesn't work though, because on the first go around, okay. No, I'm just gonna make this a parameter. Because that way it actually works. And it needs to be false by default. We can get rid of that. And when we call it here, we pass it that. Yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and say we do that. Which means we're gonna have to do that in the physics rigid body as well. Okay, good. Now it should work. Now it should work again. And it does. Good. I'm gonna try to not focus as much on physics, because this is mainly about me exploring Jolt. But obviously I do have to still develop the physics part to match the Jolt system. So, okay, let's get rid of that. These functions, they're going to be a bit they're gonna be interesting to implement when we start getting to that. So K Quicks, thank you so much for following. Much appreciated. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is for the most part done. Right? Like, I'm pretty happy with this because if we go into physics API and we switch this over to physx, it should work. Actually, no, it won't, because we need to do this. Actually go through and attach them. Oh, hang on a minute. We don't actually have to have these guys do anything special, technically. Because we always add the shapes in here. I think. Yeah, because we go through these and we add them to the compound shape. Which means that these guys don't actually need to store them, technically. I mean, in the end, they're just storing refs, which, you know, no big deal. But yeah, they don't actually need to do that. They don't really need to do anything other than exist. Now, of course, in that sense, we could just say that, oh, we'll go through and create them and then go through and create all of the colliders down here, but don't actually even have this code. But for now, I'm gonna keep it just to be consistent, because I'm probably gonna end up moving most of this code into like one method that both Jolt and physx can reuse, because the only difference between them is the type that we create. That's it. So in that sense, we could just create a bunch of virtual functions that create these guys, and then have the rest of this code be completely tied, well, have it not be tied to any specific API. Yeah, let's do that actually. So in physics rigid body, what we're gonna have is a protected void create, what did I call it? Create shapes for entity? Create collision shapes for entity. It's gonna take in the entity. No, physics rigid body. It's gonna include the precompiled header. It's gonna include physics rigid body. We're gonna create the implementation. And we're just gonna steal this. All right, it needs this as well. And I actually have half a mind to make like a static function called create in this. All right, sort of like we do with the texture, where it will do a switch on the API and return the relevant one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. But wait, this isn't tied to any API whatsoever. So that means under physics, whatever, let's just, not what I wanted to do. There we go. Under this, each of these are gonna have a static method. Yeah, I like that. Which will return a ref, compound shape, create, entity, entity. No, that shouldn't be there. That should be here. Just have it return a physics shape. Well, no, let's make it return the correct type at least. Yeah. Do we have a... No, we don't have an implementation file for the physics shape. So physics, shapes. Go and create that. Can just do this. Okay, we're gonna have to include the jolt shapes and the physics shapes. Do we have access to... No, we don't. So let's also go to include that. Come on, why won't you auto-generate for me? This will just return this. And down here, we'll just add a verify false, return null pointer, just to make it happy. That way, this is now entirely API agnostic. And that also means we can just get rid of this. Let's see if it compiles. Also, I should probably go ahead and merge dev into this branch, but I'm not going to do it while I have active changes. The sun is pissing me off. Okay. So we broke it. Interesting. Let's put breakpoints here and here. Wait, no. We're running using physics, aren't we? Yes, we are, meaning it's physics that is broken, not Jolt. Because we're not actually attaching the shapes. That's why. So after we create the actor, we need to go through all the shapes. So we basically need to do this. We need to go through all of the actual shapes. And attach shape, but we need to get call it native shape. attach wants by reference apparently. And I believe this, yeah, so it returns. So let's say if we fail to attach this shape, we'll do a to actor for entity. So it's shape utils, shape type, entity name. Should add the compound shape and the mutable compound shape as well. So I'll say immutable. Well, yeah, immutable compound. Oh. Fine. Well, let's not do that. Okay. And I don't know, just don't do anything for now. Right. So we need to do this after we attach the shapes. Because otherwise it won't be correct. So now it should work. Yeah, I definitely think I need to get a boom arm next month because it's super annoying having the microphone right like in front of me because it's in front of my keyboard. Damn. So, boom arm next month. What's up, Adelia? And we get a crash. Cool. Because attached shape failed because it is null pointer somehow. Right. Yeah, because we would end up calling this on. So let's say if native shape is null pointer, just continue. Redeemed hydrate, huh? There we go. So yeah, compound shapes, and I need to remember to do that for this one as well. There we go. I had a lot less hair when I made that emote. Need to shave my head again. It's getting too long. Yeah. Physics test. Now it should work. No, apparently it should crash. Because M actor hasn't actually been assigned yet. That is correct. Should probably be doing that check in Jolt as well, so we don't try to attach a null pointer or a null shape. Let's give this a quick try. Well, it doesn't work, but it also doesn't crash. So, progress, I guess? Question is, why doesn't it work? We are calling this one, so let's go in here. So, okay, so this isn't the compound shape. So, current, which is physics. So we're going to physics sphere shape. Recreate the material. Do all of this. Shape does exist. We set all of that. Okay. Go through all of this. We create the actor. We set all of this up. Go through the shapes. It does exist. And we try to attach it. Okay. And we call attach shape, which adds it. So what is the goddamn problem here? It successfully attaches. Maybe it's just the compound shape that isn't working. That is very possible. Let's see. Yes. Well. Stop that. Wait, what? So we hit it. but nothing is colliding. Do we have actual debugger support with SX yet? Because if we do, that's gonna be super useful. Check out the debugger, see if we ever actually call start debugging. No, we don't. So let's make it so we can actually debug it. And it's because they're not const, right? Yeah, because they can't be. So I guess remove the const. Failed. Probably because it's not actually available in there. No? What? Okay, first of all, we can get rid of that. What are these other errors? Oh. Okay, we can't do that. We need to forward declare it. And I guess for consistency, have it return a pointer. Please work. It worked. Stretch from Marka. There we go. And I wish the sun would disappear, because it keeps getting in my face. SX, visual debugger. Nice. Okay, so the shapes do exist. It's just they won't collide. And we can see these are incorrect as well. So, why will they not collide? That's my question. So, if we take a look at the floor, it does have box geometry. That is correct. It is set as a simulation shape, but maybe we are not setting the filter data. That is entirely possible. Well, we create it, but we never actually set it. So that is indeed the issue. I can set that after we know that we can actually attach it. And for now, I'll just comment this out because it's pointless code. Can I stop doing that? I have a feeling that this is gonna work just fine now. At least the basic shapes. Yep. Although I can see the capsule isn't quite correct. And I don't think these quote-unquote child colliders are actually being set properly. At least they don't have their translation set correctly. So, yeah, that's actually an interesting question. How do we solve that? Yeah, it's more like a sphere. I suspect it's just something simple. Capsule shape. So X and C on the largest component, which is the radius. That multiplied by the half height. That should be correct now. Should it not? We use capsule geometry as well. All right, one moment, I'll be back. I just gotta go to the bathroom. What's up, Tony? Just gonna go get some water. Okay. So, why would the capsule be more of a sphere than anything else? That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, let's give it a go with the debugger and see what it looks like. Because I don't understand why it would look anything... Why it would be anything other than a capsule. Let's switch music. This is terrible. Let's have a look. Got yourself... Oh, hang on a minute. No, wait. Never mind. It's nothing. Got myself a nice Xbox controller dock. Now I don't have to change batteries when I eventually run out. That's cool. Okay, that should be enough data. Oh, it's not rotated correctly? The actual collider isn't rotated correctly. That's what's happening here. Stop that. That is because we need... Hang on. I know I had this issue before. And I think we just had to rotate it 90 degrees in some axis. Yep. We had to rotate it by 90 degrees in the z-axis. So that is why the capsule was broken. Now the reason why these guys are in the wrong place is because we basically need to tell them, like, obviously they don't know where they should be because we don't have like an offset or anything like that set. Thing is, I'm unsure as to how to do that. I could do it, well, this could actually be a really good place to do it in add shape. Because for compound, is your volume that low or is it just me? Like the microphone? Yeah, man, I think that's just you. Because on the mixer it looks just fine. Nope, that's not where I wanted. I wanted Jolt shapes. we basically need to do something like this, but for phys-x, and we need to make sure that it's part of the offset of the shape. Right? So we need to do that. Comment that out. And we need to update the local pose of the shape to be this plus whatever offset's already set. Same thing with the rotation, I think. Yeah. Alright, so native shape, set local pose. Phys-x utils to phys-x transform. And we basically need to give it this, along with the rotation. But obviously we have to account time drinker. I'm guessing ref is defined as a shared pointer. If so, how come you copy it each time you use it? No, that's how shared, like... Okay, so first of all, like, yes, it is a shared pointer, but it's a custom implementation, right? So it's not SPD shared pointer, but it's similar thing, right? And copying is not bad for performance when it comes to shared pointers. Like, yes, probably avoid it where possible, but all you're copying when you copy a shared pointer is the pointer, right? So 8 bytes of data, roughly. So it's definitely nothing to be concerned about when it comes to performance. But like, obviously here, we take in a const reference, right? Because we don't need to copy it here. For scenes, it's not a big deal if it's const reference or not. Copy the whole instance every time, yeah, sure, definitely. Now, I actually need to do from phys-x transform. I think not sure, but it's thread safe. Therefore, worse performance. Yeah, ref should be thread safe because we do use std atomic for the reference count. Not sure how bad that will be for the performance or not. I assume it's fine. We haven't experienced that as a bottleneck in any way so far. Thread safety is not a concern, assuming that thread doesn't confuse itself. But yeah, so, like, for all I know, it could be worse performance. But the thing is, as long as it's not a bottleneck, as long as it's not obviously causing problems, like, we have other areas we can optimize a lot more. So I think it's fine. Native shape, get local pose. This returns what exactly? A matrix. Cool. We then need to decompose it. We'll call it offset. Scale, which isn't used. And I believe it's a quaternion for the rotation. We need to do decompose transform, local pose, offset, rotation, and scale, which isn't used. So we grab the old data here, and our new offset will be modified with that. Rotation, how do we do that? So is it we multiply, do we do this to add the two quaternions together? Or am I completely wrong here? Also, I was unable to bypass TPM 2.0 for Vanguard. Guess I'm not playing that now. Wait, are games starting to require TPM 2 in order for you to play? Like, fine if Windows 11 does, it requires it. Like, that's an operating system, but a game? Really? That feels overkill. Okay, let's give this a go and see if it works. Oh, what's up, E-Man? Yeah, like, that's very weird to me. Like, I can understand that Windows 11 requires it, because that's an operating system. But the fact that a game requires it is very strange. But also, Tony, you have Windows 11. So did you make some register tweaks to bypass the TPM 2.0 requirement for that as well? Seeing as you use Windows 11 but don't have TPM 2.0? Okay, so in theory, this should be correct. Yeah, look at that. TPM 2.0 is fine though, as long as you have a CPU with it. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so Tony doesn't have TPM2 support, so he hacked it. But yeah, cool. We have compound colliders working for PhysX, I think. I'm pretty sure. Assuming we're still, yep, we are doing these checks. But also, Tony, don't you have a pretty decent PC? So I mean, how come it doesn't have TPM2? Because like even my old PC had TPM2 support, and that was old. Like the CPU was pretty old, so. Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of PC you got. I'd assume it was better than my old crap that I was running. That definitely had TPM2. Oh, look at this. RTX 3070, yep. Intel Core i7. Dude, I had an i5. Now, admittedly, like, I think it was like an 8th or 9th gen i5. And that had TPM2. So, I guess that could be the problem. Like, okay. So, this looks great except for the part where, you know, the pole isn't there. Why? It means we ignore our own box collider for some reason. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of crap. So why are we ignoring our own? Could just get TPM 2.0 module, but I have no slot for it. That sucks. this not correct? Let's check what it used to be. Collider entity equals M entity for ignore compound shapes. Yes, that's what I have. So what's the deal here? Oh, wait. Why do we have a return statement here? Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense that we have that. But why are we ignoring all of our books? Like the box collider. Let's debug it. It's possible that we're not including the entity that has the compound collider in the list of compounded entities. Okay, so grab this. So if this is true, then we know that we're the same entity. So we're not. Let's just do a conditional breakpoint here. Ignore compound shapes equals true. Close. Okay, so we do hit it. And we go in and we do this. So what's the damn deal here? Oh, hang on a minute. No. I think I know what's up here. Yeah, shut up. Let's rerun that. Open up PVD. Redeemed hydrate. Thank you, Tony. Why no water? It's possible that we're simply moving the actual your Explorer just restarted. Awesome. So let's run this. Let it run for a bit. Move this back. Let's check this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are moving it. Aha! Yes. Exactly. Okay. We can definitely account for that little discrepancy by checking if entity and the shape entity are the same. In that case, we do nothing. Let's do entity, shape, entity equals shape, get entity. If M entity is equal to shape entity, bail. Do nothing. Actually, I need to remember to do this for the mutable one. There we go. Now it should work. And again, I'm super annoyed by the fact that the physics visual debugger just dies when you close down. Damn, I've almost been going for 2 hours now. Really doesn't feel like it. So let's run this. And now it's in the correct place. Good. Okay. Now I can consider this done. So, trigger shape support to Jolt. And come on, no, stop it. Let's move that up. How do you do trigger shapes in Jolt? Is a very good question. Eat time and work time. Okay. Jolt physics. Let's check their samples. Shapes. Okay, so not there. Apparently general, maybe? Oh yeah, we will need a contact listener at some point. I believe it's the sensor. Okay. Puts it. Okay, so you need to set is sensor to true. You're installing Unity. Again. Okay, so a static sensor that attracts. Attracts? The hell does that mean? What the shit does it mean? Or is it a typo? Did they misspell attracts? That attracts dynamic bodies. Probably, yes. But the way we mark it as a sensor is by setting this to true. And we need to tell it that it shouldn't collide with anything else. Okay, should be pretty easy. Shapes, no, because you do it on the... You'd set that on the actual actor, not the shape. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. that how we do it in... No, because in physics it's per collider. Alright. Yes. But in Jolt, it's a property of the actor, not the shape. Oh, great. That begs the question, which method do we use? Because we could say that, okay, the actor is a sensor if it has any collider that is marked as a trigger. That's the neat part, you don't. Yeah. We could say that if it has any collider that is a trigger, it will be a sensor, right? Even if it has some that aren't triggers. Or we could just say that being a trigger is a property of an actor, not a shape. And to be honest, I kind of think that the way Jolt does it may be a bit better. Right? Because does it really make sense that you would have multiple colliders and only like on the same actor, and only some of them would be triggers? I don't know. I think that doesn't make much sense to me. So maybe we do a massive change here and make it so that trigger is no longer a property of a collider. Will it trigger a sensor on itself? No, like what physics calls it collided with its... Well, yeah, actually that's a... Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point for why we should make this change as well. Because if you have... Say you have an actor that has two different colliders. One of them is a trigger, the other one isn't not. We'd have to make sure that it doesn't trigger itself constantly. You know, assuming they intersect. Yeah, so I think the way Jolt has set it up is a lot better, maybe. So, okay. Move all of this. And then on the actor, we have Boolean is trigger. So yeah. Okay, good. Component, rigid body component. Let's have that. So it can be a trigger regardless of if it's static or not. Okay, so do I go shopping new PC parts? I mean, you pretty much only need it. You may need both the CPU and a motherboard, right? Depending on if the socket matches or not. Okay, so this is the if statement. I mean, do you need to buy new RAM? Or do you not need to buy new RAM? Because, I mean, TPM2, you only need a new CPU and maybe a motherboard. If the sockets are different. So, okay, that's now a property of the rigid body. I'm gonna have to update the serialization as well. Steel butt. Deserialization is gonna be interesting. I can only upgrade to until CPUs go. Oh, you don't have DDR4 RAM. Well, that sucks. We're actually gonna have to handle this, right? So if second best CPU that will still run on DDR3, awesome. If like sphere collider component is trigger and the deserialized entity has a rigid body component, I hate having to deal with backwards compatibility. Yeah, it's like an i7, even if it's from 2014, like that's still a good CPU. It's just very old. Okay. Now, where are we deserializing rigid bodies here? Oh. Oh. Right. That's garbage. That's a bug that I believe I actually fixed in dev. We used to have a problem deserializing static rigid bodies components because I was checking if they were static, and if they were, I just ignored them, which is incorrect. Okay, there we go. That's serialization done. How do we deal with this here? We'd have to get the component, the rigid body component as well. But what if it's a compound shape, huh? If it's a compound shape, then entity may not have a rigid body component, but we may still belong to an actor that is a trigger. Or am I dumb enough to buy a €200 motherboard? I mean, that's about what I'd pay for a motherboard here in Sweden. Like, it's easily €200 here. Well, maybe like €160, but 200 isn't unreasonable for a motherboard here. We may have to pass a parameter in here to say, like, is this a trigger or not? Because it's based on the actor. Yeah, this is gonna be annoying. I mean, we do have actor here. No, we don't. Just kidding. The physics shapes have no clue what the actor is. Because in Jolt, it's very easy. We just go into Jolt rigid body. We say body settings. M is sensor is equal to rigid body component is trigger. And that's that in Jolt. Done. The problem becomes when we have to deal with that in physics, because it expects this to be on the shape. So I'm thinking what we do is we don't set that here. We don't set it in the shape at all. We go into physics rigid body, and in here where we set the simulation filter data, we set the flags. Now I don't know if these flags have to be set before we attach them. Shared shapes attached to actors are not writable. Yeah, I know that already. Yep, so it seems we can still do that. So, okay, that's it. That's all we have to do here. And now we can just clean this up. I like it. Now in the Jolt scene, we may have to check for triggers in here. Although I don't know how I would do that, because I think it's based on the layer. Maybe. Which would be fucking annoying. Should I go for the Asus ROG Strix? Has the same style as my GPU, which is Asus Tough. Yeah, sure. Keep it in the house, man. Stick with Asus. Where are these samples actually called from? layers that age. Wait, what? Okay. So sensors can collide with moving layers, but nothing else? Or... I have no idea. I also like to have some lighting in the motherboard, like a logo or something, not just all black or some random colors. Yeah. I don't know, let's give this a try and see what happens. Maybe Jolt will just automatically not let triggers collide physically. Well, no, because I think... The thing is, I'm pretty sure that a sensor is not strictly the exact same thing as a trigger in physics. Because from what I can tell, a sensor can still collide with objects. Whereas in physics, if it's a trigger, they will not collide. And we have errors. Oh, crap. Yeah. This is what I get for changing the API entirely. I can't read Japanese markup. Okay, let's see if it builds now. No idea why it needs to rebuild Vulkan device, but sure. Whatever. You think it means Jolt is amazing. Let's give it a Google Translate. Well, according to Google Translate, it says Jolt is awesome, so... Probably, yeah. You know, when you made it, when you can find your GPU without scrolling down the list. Yeah. I do like... I'm actually really liking Jolt. A lot of their sort of decisions that makes them different from PhysX make a lot of sense now that I'm thinking about it. It's just annoying trying to get PhysX to play nice with the changes I have to make. But I think in the end it's going to result in a better API in general, in a better system. So it's worth it. 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. Yeah, that sounds expensive. Sounds very expensive. But I guess if you're gonna go broke, you better do it properly. I should get another SSD as well, to be honest. I've almost filled up my terabyte one. Just a question from E-Man. How would you compare Bullet Physics to other physics libraries like Physics? I've never used Bullet myself. I will say from what I've seen of it, and from what like the very minimal research I did into it, doesn't seem like it's that big of a competitor. Like I know it's pretty popular, but now with Jolt, like I don't see Bullet ever becoming a standard thing. And to be honest, I don't like their API personally, but that's obviously more of a personal preference than anything else. But I think with Jolt now getting so much more traction, it's unlikely that Bullet will ever be like a real competitor. But it's still good to have, though. Like, having competition is never a bad thing. Okay, let's try this. Let's get this cube over here. So, in theory, this is running PhysX, so in theory they should not collide. Guess I'm wrong about that. What? Why did they collide? What's up with that? Let's check physics. Check the physics, filter shader. That doesn't make much sense. Did I not do this for static colliders? No, I didn't. That's why. Don't you just love it when you believe one wait, what? We don't have the rigid body component here? Come on, that's bullshit. We need it. Turns out I don't have to upgrade my PSU. Well then don't. It broke, please help. No, it didn't break, I forgot to copy paste my code. Is all. Now it should be fine. Hey, I have a 144 Hz 1440p 27-inch display. How may I be of assistance today? Yeah, you did really help out and really save my ass with the joint local frames. Okay, so now they shouldn't collide. Woo! They don't. Cool, let's try it with Jolt. Not all heroes wear capes. Nah. Unless Marco wears a cape. Physics, API. Really need to make it so we can easily switch this. Without having to shut down completely. I don't think it's gonna work with Jolt. At least, I don't think... Like, I'm pretty sure they will still collide. You wear a hoodie, though. Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 1 terabyte SSDs are expensive. And yeah, that is pretty cheap. That's like 1,000 Swedish crowns, which is not that much. Well, I mean, it's a lot of money, but not for a 1 terabyte SSD. Okay, so I'm running Jolt, and these guys don't collide. And I think they're on the same layer. Yes. And they are set to collide with each other. So, cool. What if I make this dynamic? Oh, that's a problem. Hey, it works. Awesome. It works and I don't need to do anything special. I will have to fix this though. Because we end the property grid there, but we never begin it again. I think. Take a look, we begin here. Come through here, we do all of this. We have a misplaced something somewhere. I mean, to be honest, I would do end property grid here and then begin it again here. Right? Don't begin it there. We end there. Yes, that's correct. We begin here. We end. We begin a checkbox group. We end. And then we need to begin again. There. It's awesome when stuff just works without me having to do anything extra. Now I have no idea if that's actually going to report the collision properly, but we'll see. That looks a bit weird, but it's fine if we do dynamic. Still looks a bit weird, but it looks a hell of a lot better. Okay, now we need to set up a contact listener, I think. Contact listener test. So extends contact listener. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. On contact validate and on contact added. And then is that what we actually need? Hang on. Let's check. Yeah, contact listener, and it's called, well, something. So we need something that extends the Jolt contact listener. So let's do Jolt contact listener. We'll include Jolt physics collision contact listener. Yes. Jolt contact listener, which extends that, and that has what exactly? It has a on contact validate, on contact added, persisted, and removed. I like it. Let's grab those, and they're public. Okay, let's maybe read these just so we know what they are, and we need to do this as well. Called after detecting a collision between a body pair, but before calling on contact added, before adding it. Yeah. If it is false, the contact will not be added. Okay, will not processed. Sure, let's keep that the same. And we will implement these elsewhere and format it properly. Because screw this weird formatting. You got 23,000 Norwegian crowns? What? Did you like break your neck and get compensated or some shit like that? That's almost, what's that, approximately, I think it's roughly like 46,000 Swedish crowns. Because I think one Norwegian crown is about 2 Swedish crowns. Should have been here the 15th. But I mean, you just got like 4 times my salary. Is it it's because you're studying or something like that? Or are your parents just that rich? It's about, but isn't 1 Norwegian crowns about half a Swedish? Hang on, let's do. Oh. Wait. Oh no, I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused because on some cans, yeah, but on some cans, it says you get 1 Swedish crown in, like, if you recycle it, but it also says 2 Norwegian crowns on it if you recycle it, and that's why I'm kind of confused. Like, well, why would I get more if I go to Norway? So I thought it was 2 NOK per sec. Yeah, now you know my salary. It's not a big deal. Like, I don't actually care about that. Huh. Interesting. Let's just do a verify in these play. Actually, really? It requires 2 Norwegian crowns. Maybe I should move to Norway. But I mean, I assume you also pay 2 Norwegian crowns extra when you buy it then? Damn. Okay, so let's check here. In sensor test CPP. Yeah, you pay them. Yeah. Damn. Should definitely move to Norway then. So on contact added, you go through all of the sensor. You grab them. Okay, yes, but isn't there a way for me to just check if these boys are sensors or not? Because that would be very useful. Is sensor, yeah, we can check it. Why my computer beeping? I don't know, bro. Okay, because in that case, what I'm gonna do is have private void on trigger enter. Which, let's make him take in all of these parameters. Removed. Okay. Okay. Don't use any looking functions, that's fine. So if is sensor or is sensor incomplete, not allowed. You happy now? Thanks. Okay, so we do on trigger enter. With that. Otherwise, we will do like on collision enter or whatever. Anyways, I have got that money from Lonely Carlson because I have a student loan. Yeah, that kind of explains it. I mean, still, I think the maximum student loan I can take out is like 10,000 Swedish crowns. Because, like, that's the upper limit in Sweden. And how do I do this with these boys? Because they hold body IDs and subshape IDs. Because the body ID is useless for me as it is. Great. I'm gonna have to figure out a good way of handling that. But for now, all I really give a shit about is if we hit this or not. And I probably need to assign this somewhere. How do I set a contact listener in Jolt? I would assume it's part of the Jolt system. Init function. Oh, okay, so you get a bonus on the first month. Okay, that makes sense. How do I give this a contact listener? Set contact listener, okay. And it takes in a pointer, which calls contact manager, set that. And I'm guessing I have to be responsible of like freeing this up. I imagine. So let's go in here. We'll add the Jolt contact listener. Store that as a unique pointer. But now I have to save a good chunk of that money. Yeah, like obviously you can't just go spending it on whatever, unlike Tony. All right, yeah. Need to implement those. Okay. I do want to say for the next M2 MacBook. Yeah. I have my opinions on Apple, but like I do admit their products are nice. They're very user-friendly, which is the entire point. You want to move to Sweden, you'd only need 96,000 euro to be considered a millionaire. No, you would need 100,000. Well, hang on, maybe the exchange rate has changed. Hang on, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. Yep, the exchange rate has changed. Because I remember, like, ages ago, yeah, it used to be 10 Swedish crowns per euro. So a while back, you would have needed 100,000 euros to be considered a millionaire. But you'd also have to pay the millionaire tax. So, yeah. Now go to Sri Lanka and you need less than 3k, yeah. Go to Thailand, you wouldn't need much more either. Hey, nice, nice. It works. Okay, we can see this. Oh, we can actually check the contact settings to see if it's... Okay, we should probably do that in that case. Instead of this, just do IO settings is sensor. Proceeds to move back to Finland. Okay, I'm happy with this. We're able to detect if it's a trigger or not. And I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and end the stream here. because I want to take a shower and then go to bed. And I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Didn't quite hit 3 hours, but it's whatever. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna stream as well, so gonna go to a Discord chatting then. Probably, yeah. I'm gonna be scrolling Discord for a while. But yeah, I definitely want to keep streaming Jolt, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Unless I get caught up fixing bugs and crashes in Hazel. Tim will have all night to complain. So. And yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to detect, like, why is on contact removed so different from both of these? This inconsistency is pissing me off. Hazel definitely has. Oh yeah, definitely, but you know, as long as I don't know about them, they don't exist. So let's go ahead and commit this. I can probably get rid of this now, I think, because it sort of works. Scene, script, sure, whatever. Okay. Told my friend that Windows 11 has no bugs, just unintentional features. Kind of true. Lots of improvements. So, let's say refactored the way we handle shape creation. Added trigger support for Jolt. Physics obviously has changed quite a bit. Colliders no longer can no longer be marked as triggers. That is, instead we mark a rigid body component as a trigger. Cool. Yep, I'm happy with that. Go ahead and push it. Maybe. And he was like, whatever you want to call them. Total engine rewrite, pretty much. No, but I'm actually really loving the new physics API so far. It is a lot better compared to the old one. Oh, did you just get here, Goobermoosh? Because I hate to break it to you, I'm about to end the stream. Oh, that sucks, man. But I'm streaming tomorrow as well, so. Should probably... I don't know when, like, the best time for me to be streaming is. Because I think a lot of the people who follow me, Marco deemed hydrate, well... Fine, I don't have much water left in the bottle. I've actually been good. I've had 3 of these bottles already. Oh, come on. Come on, guys. Why? Oh, for the... Okay, I'm getting more water then. Jesus. Peter's gonna drown at this rate, pretty much. Don't. Oh, come on. You guys want me to like empty this bottle at this point? I already have to use the toilet. So stretch. Alright, good. You went in the stream, hell no. Yeah, like late night stretch. Oh, it feels so good to stretch. I should definitely keep streaming like every day because I will definitely hydrate properly at that point. I'm gonna increase the cost of that hydrate. I don't know why I say cost. It's free. Implementing a new physics engine. Nah, well, redesigning the entire physics engine that I had. Yeah, I mean, I'm redesigning the physics engine to support Jolt and physics. So, pretty much rewriting it completely. Making it a lot better in the process. You guys don't want me to increase the price of hydrate? Posture check. Well, alright, fine. I'll lock the chair in place so it doesn't lean backwards. But yeah, this is nice. I'm liking it. I was supposed to end the stream, but you need to decrease it to 50. Never. Never, because like that's the only thing that's gonna get used. But no, I think it's good. I should probably add some more stuff to that you can use the crash points for. Because right now it's pretty much only the stuff that Twitch basically has by default. When you die, it's because you drank too much on stream. Yeah. Should make it real fun and switch out the water for like vodka or beer. Yo. So yeah, definitely next stream make it interesting and get a bunch of beer. I'm gonna have to end the stream soon either way because I do have to use the toilet and I do want to take a shower. How much water does this fit? Like half a liter? Shower stream, never. God damn. Never in my life would I ever do something like that. Well, maybe if I got paid like 100k, then I'd consider it. There's nothing I really won't do for money, to be honest, when it comes to stuff like that. Someone pays me a lot of money, I would do a shower stream. But it would have to be a lot of money, because I know it's never gonna happen. Alright, either way, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, because I really do want to take a shower, so. But I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow as well. The problem is, like, most of the people who follow me are not in the European time zone. So most people don't have time to catch it. No, because the thing is, eventually someone is gonna reach that number of crash points. And I don't actually get any money by people using crash points, is the thing. Like, I don't actually make money from those. So I would gain nothing from it. could add like a subscription tier that's just a ludicrous, like add a reward to a ludicrously expensive subscription tier, and have it be like some insane reward. Could be fun. Gain dehydrate, obviously. Yeah, pretty much. All right. Either way, I'm gonna end the stream. I'll schedule a programming stream for tomorrow as well. So keep an eye on the schedule. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for the dehydration, or no, the hydration, not the dehydration. Yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys next stream. Bye bye.